Coming again to you in the western part of the world. You may be wondering why Karlo disappeared for almost 3 weeks, not appearing. I was waiting for things to go ahead and see whether people will react to my previous videos or not. So now, it's time to know why Karlo did not appear all these days. يعني يا اخوانا في ناس كتير بيقولوا 3 اسبوع ولا اكتر من 3. كارلو ما ظاهر تاني، ابونا كارلو ما ظاهر. فعندنا اقول لكم انا لسه كان بيلموا اخبارات بيمروا في الدنيا بالعالم، في روسيا، في فلسطين، اسرائيل مع حماس، you see سودان شكلها بتاع السودان في الجنوب، في زاير، في كل مكان. ما ده أربع العالمية الثالث قام خلاص نجتوا أسا ما جاء بعدين يعني أمراض فيضان بقى راجت زي ما يسوع كلم في متى 24. You know, this is something clear in the book of Matthew chapter 24 when Jesus said during the end times people will hear a lot of rumors of wars and famine in many parts of the world. Like now we are hearing too much famine in Kakuma. People are now going back to Sudan footing. More than 700,000 refugees in Kakuma have no food. And that's part of Matthew chapter 24, where Jesus said there will be rumors of wars and earthquakes in so many parts of the world, and people will hear, kingdom fighting kingdom or a nation fighting a nation. So these things are now happening. فدي حاجات يا اخوانا ربنا يعني يسوع ذات ينبأ في متى 24 انه بعدين في اوقات بيكون مجاعة كتير بالدنيا وشكل كتير يحصل بنفس مشاكل بين روسيا ويوكرين، حماس مع اسرائيل، جيش حميتي مع بتاع برهان، بتاع سلفا مع بتاع رياض مشار. يعني ده خلاص زمن بتاع متى 24 ما هو كلم زي قال شغله بيبدا من محل لمحل. فخلي بالكم قبل ما نمشي قدام شويه يمكن اكتب انا وايد بروتات بتاع تنت. Let me just put one song in my own traditional language of Tenet so that it can energize my body, you see. Yo, Iowa. This is an introductory song. It says Jesus has come to Sudan. We the people of South, Northern Sudan. Jesus has come to our land, but many people don't see. You know why? Because the devil has blinded their minds. The devil has blinded their eyes. And then Abu Lekun Shuni Akwana. Yeshua was always Sudan Kalas. Yeshua Jan Masalam, Pida Vito. Lakina Ketir Makaino. Ana baraya ya gayano Yesu bije salam wa mulana maruf khalas ladi masayin bilalim kullu salli masayin bilalim kullu salli ata sudanin fi jumal sudan nasal tala masayin fi junub nasal tala masayin mo ya ko la Yesu gal Yesu khalas wo ke bishakala de wo ke bizafana chapter 2 verse 12 algal robuna bidugo sudan ude bada be sharar ba yum kamisajara alifen utalata 20 de la ana bita khartoum zafanaya اثنين بدأ من 12 ده أو لحنا بتاعت خرطوم بتاع السودان ليه؟ لأنه من دمر كنايس إنتوا دمرتوا كنايس يسوع كمان دمروا بنوك أي بنك بالسودان بقى ما شغال ولا قروش ولا بنك أكاونت لأن إنتوا كسرتوا كنايس يسوع كمان كسروا مسالة كله مكسور في السودان أيوة ما إنتوا كسروا بيت ربنا إنتوا جريتوا بالسودان وكمان جروا حاجة سكون هناك حتى ما هذا بقى ما سكون. My dear fellow Sudanese and the nations at large, I just want to touch, the book of Ezekiel chapter 38, which talks about Gog and Magog. By the way, the biblical name for Russia is called Gog and Magog. So this prophecy started in February 2022. It's a prophecy. And I just want to give you the summary of it so that you know why President Trump and President Putin in Alaska failed to stop this chapter. Yes, I will explain why they failed to stop the war. Because it is a biblical chapter. It's a prophecy in the Bible. The book of Ezekiel chapter 38. Say God will energize Magog to start the Third World War. Ano ya Juana, Rais Trump ma Vladimir Putin in Alaska, Umbari, yumkamistaja Richard Amania alifeno kamsa 20 umejaribu gogi chapter de magazirino lani de haja maktub bi kitab mukaddas de haja sana buriku daiman almujrim ma bagda saw mujrim. And I told you many times a criminal cannot correct a criminal. So you can see what happened August 15 2025 in the city of or in the state of Alaska. So let me just continue briefly in Arabic and English. يا اخوانا ده نقول لكم انه Ezekiel 38 نبأوا انه ربنا بارين بيقوم جوج وماجوج. جوج وماجوج ده الليله دي دوله اسمها روسيا. يا قالوا بيقوم روسيا عشان يبدا الحرب العالميه الثالث، وفعلا هم بدا يوم 24 شهر 2 2022. يا وصل ماشي قريب ل 3 سنة ونص، وده الحرب العالميه الثالث، وبدا زي نار كرانكا، وبدا من روسيا وجد لمسوا حماس مع اسرائيل، كمان جا لمسوا برهان مع ميتين خرطوم، وكم والله وكمان كتير في كونغو، وكمان دقج وكمان جنوب السودان، ويمن فوقه، سوريا فوقه. ده الحرب العالميه الثالث في معنى انه السبع كارا دي كله بقى خلاص سكنت. ايران كمان هناك. So therefore the two leaders failed to stop Ezekiel 38, which says God will energize the Magog or the Gogs, which means the Russians. God will energize the Russians to start the Third World War. And they started, of course. Yeah, February 2022. Now almost 3.5 years. That is the Third World War. And I will tell you the reason why God allowed Third World War to come. There are so many reasons. أنا بوريكم ليش ربنا فكوا الحرب العالمية الثالث يبدأ في روسيا ليه؟ في سبب. يا ربنا زعلان في سماء هناك. أنه يالو خلاص دمروا كنايس، نفيكوا شيطان أنت بري رمون. أيوة. أنت برجعتوا كنايس يسوع، وكمان برجعوا استيثار بتاعكم في خرطوم ولا في الجنوب ولا في سوريا ولا في اليمن، في كل مكان محلات ديل. لمسوا كله الأرض كله بالعالم كله. What I mean to say, since the two presidents, our Western president, our President Donald Trump, yes, you tried. I know you're a peacemaker. You tried to bring peace between Russia and Ukraine. Of course, it is still, controlled by spirit world. It is a battle between Jesus and Satan. They are the ones actually fighting in the space. The number of non-Christians in Russia and in Ukraine are very less. So the number of non-Christians are more, which means satanic groups are more, and that's why they love blood. They want blood to continue. Because if the country does not have a good Christian percentage, the devil will take over that country. And God will say, well, you people don't worship me. The God of heaven becomes angry. Maybe very few people in Ukraine are born-again Christians. And in Russia, maybe just 10%. You see, 10% is not a passing mark to the University of Heaven. That's why Russia has to be disturbed. People have to die in Russia. God's anger in Ezekiel 38. I mean to say, since our president here in the US failed to, stop the one of Russia and Ukraine, that is Ezekiel 38, I could recommend you, our brother Donald Trump, to touch the one of Sudan. That is to say, Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 12, that says God will punish the Cushites, which is the Sudanese people. And that one started April 15, 2023, God's anger, in the book of Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 12. So, and then that of Isaiah chapter 18, which started in Bor, 1983, May 16, 1983, and it is still going on. Because majority of the Sudanese or South Sudanese are not Christians. So that's why the chapter is to continue to harm the Sudanese two nations. Yeah. And then I will continue Akwana and no raise now. Donald Trump inket baadaye kalas aliwe jaribu vita Sudan kaman. Ili jaribu kaman chapter vita Sudan. Aliwe Zephaniah itnin bada min itnashara. Algar robuna bidemir Sudan. Ya bara yom kamistashara shararba aliperu 23. They are chapter tana. Lela ana vita Sudan. فأنا بقول رئيسنا دونالد ترامب بإناي رؤساء يوروبا ناس مجلس العام قالوا من برضه المس بتاع السودان، لأن أنا قدمت ربنا، أنا رسلت أوراق دي كله لجماعة ديل النصارى زي ما كان رسلته أوراق ل 55 دول في نيروبي شهر 2 2002 وديته لرياض مشار 55 دول سفر جاب نيروبي ب3 سنة بس salama shamil ja dai au hana nifsu Karlo aljab fikra ta salama shamil ta alifen o kamsa so robuna kamano dani plan B zai mana bori kun kulli yom gal limin nifsu duwal kaleji ajan itafo nar bita Sudan dawlatain del kullu yeah. So the Sudanese chapters, that is Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 12, that is started in Khartoum, April 15, 2023, and Isaiah chapter 18, which is started in the town of Bor, May 16, 1983. They are still going on, they are still boiling. So I prefer the international community should listen to us Christians. Christians prayed in many parts of the world about these two chapters, the one of Khartoum and the one of Bor. Please, Christians, continue praying. God is going to stop this war, because the time is coming when the Sudanese will raise their hands to God in prayer. That's according to the book of Psalms 68 verse 31, and then Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 10, then Isaiah 18 verse 7. Those are the very good verses, because it says the Sudanese will raise their hands to God in prayer. So this is the time, my dear Sudanese, if you raise your hands to Jesus, the war will stop. Then أقول لكم شنو يا سودانيين ده زمن ناس العالم مسيحيين صلي بالعالم كثير أنه شكله يجيب في السودان. وعشان كده نقول يعني الدول العالم دول أوروبا ولا آسيا ولا أفريقيا المسيحيين صلي شديد، فربنا راح يسمع صلوات بتاع الناس ديل. قصدا كلمة لنا رسولته لقدامين ربنا بلان بي، ربنا بوقف بشغله بتاع السودان. أنا ما ده أنا شرح لكم كثير، أنا شرحت لكم كثير. So بقوة الله شكل بتاع السودان والجنوب بوقف. So by the power of God, Matthew 19 verse 26 says, with God all things are possible. So the Sudanese war can come into an end now, because we have lost almost 3 million people in 22 years of SPLA and Khartoum regime, and then now again we lost almost 2 million. So God is saying it is enough. You should raise your hands to God. You the Sudanese in the north and the south. Then God will stop the war. The Israeli war that happened in October 2023 is in the book of Zephaniah chapter 2 verse, actually Zephaniah chapter 2. It talks about Gaza. Gaza will be devastated. Gaza is in the Bible. Zephaniah chapter 2 talks about Gaza, which happened October 2023. You see, these are all prophetic, wars. This war did not happen by chance. No, it's calculated in the Bible. Ano yakwana robuna hatitu bita Hamas ma Israel de vive kitab bita Zephaniah chapter 2. Zephaniah chapter 2 gal robuna bilemezo alugo inaide Gaza. You see, God believe me to Gaza. With a Gaza there, Obada, Alipen, Utalata, Alipen Utalata is in, of course, for October. It says here, what? A prophecy against Philistia. Gaza will be abandoned, and Ashkelon left in ruins. All midday, Ashdod will be emptied, and Ekron uprooted. Woe to you who live by the sea, O Rehanite people. The word of the Lord is against you, O Canaan, land of the Philistines. I will destroy you, and none will be left. The land by the sea, where the Rehanite dwell, will be a place for shepherds and sheep pens. it will belong to the remnants of the house of Judah. You see, appears here like the remnants of Judah, those are the Israelites, will take over those lands of Hamas, whatever. It's in the Bible. I sent a circular recently. If the Palestinians really are very human beings in particular, they're supposed to go over a referendum. How many Palestinians want to accept to be part of Israeli nation? Raise your hands. Then you will not be killed. You will live with the Israelis. And those in Jordan, how many wanted to be part of Jordan? The Palestinians. Vote in the referendum. Then that is the end of the war. If you Palestinians believe that you are part of the Israeli nation, then there will be no war. Why? When you become citizens of Israel, you see, then there is no reason to fight. Yeah, in that circular of mine I said recently, there are some Germans and British and Italians who came to USA and they spent almost 200 years. Can the German Americans here say they need a state of Germany here in USA? Can those who came from British and become part of USA, can they say within USA they need a British state? What's the idea of saying two-state solution? You see, we have the Acholi of Uganda, Acholi of Sudan. They become part of, those who Acholi of Sudan become part of Sudan. The Acholi in Uganda become part of Uganda. Why not the same thing? The Palestinians who become part of Israel supposed to be Israeli citizens. But you know what? Islam, the Arabs have a hidden agenda. They have a hidden agenda. It's not a two-state solution. They want to destroy Jerusalem so that Christians have no place. They want to capture, that's why they said Jerusalem has to be the capital city of Palestine. That means the capital city of the Muslim world. Where will the Christians go? Where will Jesus go? And how many times I said 95% of the Middle East lands are in the hands of the Arab world. Only 3% in the hands of the Israelis. Don't you deprive the Israelis a land, you the Middle East people? 93% of the Middle East lands are in the hands of the Arabs and the Muslims. Only 2% in the hands of the Israelis. And yet the Arabs want to grab it. If Israel is the community of Jesus Christ, and if that land is the land of God given to Abraham, why should 150 nations say, let that land be divided again into two halves? That 3% of the land of Israel, 150 nations are going to vote for Palestine to get a state from there. Why did you not vote for the British Americans to become a state within America? You people are mad. Why don't you, vote for German Americans to have a state, German state within USA? You people are mad. It cannot happen. You open your minds. The Arabs have a hidden agenda. The Muslims have a hidden agenda. They want to capture the capital city of the Christians. Then from there they will, go back to Southern Europe and Islamize the entire Europe. It's a demonic cult. It's a demonic religion. They will never say enough. Okay, you see the Arab world now. Do they have peace? War in Syria, war in Yemen, war in Sudan, war in wherever. Wherever Muslims are, there is also war. The truth. Yakwana. The kalama giga. Fi Syria, sari Muslimin ki shakal ba Muslimin. Fi Yemen, Muslimin ki katul Muslimin. Fi Iraq, Iran, Muslimin ki katul Muslimin. Fi Sudan, Muslimin ki katul Muslimin. Tap wedo robu na Qur'ani yakwana. Ma to kudira zaman sakit. Fashan kida na mnaru ano asaba Muslimin gal khaliyo dile Palestine ulaya dawla de umo darin isataru Jerusalem kullu يكون تبع مسلم تبقى انتوا الناس الشيطان زي ده انت تشيلوا محل يسوع يلا يسوع بسكت بعدين انتوا خلي بالكم. Be careful, you the people of the world, 150 nations saying they are going to vote for Palestine to become a state. So the Israelis will remain only with 1% of the Middle East lands. It will be 99% of the Middle East lands in the hands of the Arabs and the Muslims. So Christians will not have a place. Christians will not have a place. And the Jewish, the Israelis will not have a place. That amount of land is so big, even Netanyahu cried. people. We only have 3% of the Middle East lands for Israel. Now you are telling me to give to the Arabs. What lunatic people. You want Jesus to be outside the world. And it is Jesus who made every place in the world. And then I go to Sharia Kwana. Kamsa tisain arada bitashari kalau saya tukul bitet Muslimin warab. Bita albitet Israel zatu ma wosul kamsa fi mia. Ardi al Israel fogo akwana ta Yesu ma wosul kamsa fi mia. Intu darin gabul kullu agal ta Yesu kalima yakun indu mahal be. Bishakal wasat. Sayyidu ma yakun fadhiya kullu. Wana uretum kamara. Fi Syria Muslimin ikatul Muslimin. Fi Yaman Saudi Muslimin ikatul Muslimin. Fi Khartoum Muslimin ikatul. Tapi bueno Rabbuna ta salam inak bil Quran. Itu kali ده زمن ثاني dia. Ata بخير بأمريكا كل مسلمين كتلوا المسلمين. إبراهيم تاوري هو مسلم ولسه كيشغل مع مسلمين. ما ده الشيطان يا أخي. It's a demonic religion. In West Africa the Muslims are fighting Muslims. In Nigeria Muslims are fighting Nigerians. Even if the president of Nigeria is a Muslim, still the Muslims are fighting Muslims in Nigeria. And what is it? That's what Jesus said. The kingdom of the devil will never be united. There is no God in the Quran. I'm telling you the truth. Just wars. Just wars. You may say, why did the two presidents in Alaska did not succeed to bring peace? Because the Western world have already contaminated the churches. Almost 80% of the denominations in Western world have endorsed gay marriage or same-sex marriage and abortion and transgender. By the way, Trump is just coming to minimize, the anger of God. The reason why God allowed Trump to come and minimize the anger of God. God became angry in 2021-22 because people endorsed gay marriage. And that's why God allowed Third World War to happen. It started from Russia and Ukraine. Why? Because of same-sex marriage. How many times Trump said if I was in the power, the war would have not happened. It is true. Because it's against this, demonic marriages. The reason why God allowed Third World War to happen is because of same-sex marriage. You read, Genesis chapter 19, when Sodom and Gomorrah started same-sex marriage. What happened? God bombed the two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah, because of same-sex marriage. And then يقول لكم شنو الناس العالم كله. السبب ربنا خلش ابدا المئة الثالث يبدا لان الناس الاديان او كنائس مسيحيين كثير بقى بمدا الرجال يزوج الرجال. حتى الرؤساء في كرسي في امريكا كندا ولا وين في يوروب يمون مدى انه الرجال قال يزوج الرجال. عشان كده ربنا قال خلاص شيطان شيل الدنيا دي خلاص. ربنا مدى هنا 400 الثالث لان الدنيا بقى وسكان. يا قال لروسيا برا 2022 ده يسوع هو ودي فرصه للشيطان. جماعه ده ابا انا من كسروا ارستا بايبل. المراه يزوج الراجل من قال لا الراجل يزوج الراجل. كمان قال في حاجه اسمها ليسبيان. مراه يزوج مراه. انا ما اعرف مراه دي ايه بنوم مراه قال بده شنو؟ قال مراه كمان بيزوج مراه. You see they have something called lesbian. A woman marrying a woman. What do they produce? The same-sex marriage. They don't produce any child. By the way, the idea of same-sex marriage is to stop human population so that we don't produce children. That's the idea behind the devil. If all of us become gay, then there will be no children in the world. That's the end of the world. That's why we say it's satanic. Same-sex marriage is satanic. If all of us become, gay marriage, then there will be no children. That's a demonic plan. That's the idea of the Satan. How come we don't produce the children? And God told us to produce the children, fill the earth. Genesis chapter 2, when God made Adam and Eve, say fill the earth. From 2 people, we happen to reach now 8 billion people. Shame on you, the people of the world. You may say, well, how shall we stop the war of Ukraine, of Iraq, of Hamas and Israel, of Sudan, whatever, all those things, of Ukraine and Russia? Unless God send another Jonah with a letter to Vladimir Putin and Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. Ile karabu na rasul Jonah tani jadid. Bijawab anu amshu dile Vladimir Putin marraise the Ukraine. Karabu na rasul Jonah tani shakala lisa bistamir. What I mean to say, if God did not pick another Jonah to take a letter to the nation of Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Hamas, war will continue. Because we don't have Jonah yet. Yes. I have tried my best. I have circulated the papers why God is angry. But people don't want to read. I have circulated 64 books to many many parts. I sent to, the Sudan Council of Churches, World Council of Churches, whatever. They put under the bed. You know why? Because within the World Council of Corruption, already it's full of same-sex marriage. And God will not listen to same-sex marriage. They may pray, but their prayers will not reach heaven. God will say, you are dirty. How can I listen to your prayers? Let the Third World War continue. And let the economy be broken. Now the economy is broken worldwide. The petrol of Russia is no longer in use. And that of Saudi Arabia is terrified with, rebels within the Red Sea. So the economy is affected. And that's Matthew chapter 24. When God said, Jesus himself said, there will be rumors of wars and wars from place to place. Famine will be all over the world. Earthquake will be, happening in many parts of the world. And it is happening now. It happened in Morocco. More than 5,000 dead. Flood in Libya, 12,000 dead. Earthquake, in Turkey and Syria. More than 45,000 dead. That's Matthew chapter 24. It's fulfilled. What do I do? Well, let me conclude with what song? Because some of you people, you listen with your eyes, you don't listen with your ears. When it becomes terrible, then you will say, oh, God is really angry. Some people, they listen with their eyes. Fenas basma pe yun, munma basma padana. Lanu manatara setan gablu adana. ashantali ya abediya ya mama wodi geliba Yesu ashantali ya abediya ya kwi wodi geliba Yesu ashantali ya abediya ya ukti wodi geliba Yesu ashantali ya abediya ya mi wodi geliba Yesu ashantali ya abediya ya khalik wodi geliba Yesu ashantali ya abediya
Abie mutu ketire, na buni na kubele.